The Enigma of Kaspar Hauser, Europe's mysterious foundling. In the heart of 19th-century Europe, a mystery began that would baffle historians and intrigue the public for generations. This enigma revolves around a young man named Kaspar Hauser, who appeared in Nuremberg, Germany, in 1828. His sudden emergence and the bizarre circumstances of his life captured the imagination of many. Today, we delve into the strange and tragic tale of Kaspar Hauser. On May 26, 1828, a boy in tattered clothes was found wandering the streets of Nuremberg. He carried 2 letters with him, one addressed to a local cavalry captain. The boy could barely speak, uttering only a few words and the phrase, "I want to be a cavalryman, as my father was." This was the beginning of an extraordinary story that remains unsolved to this day. The letters claimed that Kaspar had been raised in isolation, with little human contact. One letter, supposedly from his caretaker, described how Kaspar had been kept in captivity since infancy. The second letter, allegedly from his mother, stated he was born on April 30, 1812. These letters raised more questions than they answered. Kaspar's appearance caused an immediate sensation. Authorities took him in, eager to unravel the mystery of his origins. His peculiar behavior and limited knowledge of the world intrigued everyone who met him. Little did they know, Kaspar's story would only grow more mysterious and tragic. As we begin our journey into Kaspar Hauser's life, we must piece together the fragments of his story. Who was this boy, and where did he come from? The answers, if they exist, are hidden in the shadows of history. Join us as we uncover the layers of this enduring mystery. Discovery. The discovery of Kaspar Hauser in Nuremberg set the town abuzz. Here was a young man who seemed utterly out of place, bewildered by the world around him. His physical appearance and behavior were both pitiable and perplexing. Residents and authorities alike were eager to learn more about this enigmatic figure. Kaspar's appearance was both striking and unusual. He wore clothes that were old-fashioned and ill-fitting, suggesting he had been isolated for a long time. His pale skin and frail physique indicated he had not seen much sunlight. The authorities were particularly intrigued by the letters he carried, which hinted at a noble background. During his initial interrogation, Kaspar could only write his name and a few other words. He claimed to have been kept in a dark cell for as long as he could remember. Bread and water were his only sustenance, and he had been taught to repeat a single phrase about becoming a cavalryman. This account was so unusual that many struggled to believe it. Kaspar's story of captivity was filled with strange and unsettling details. He described his cell as a small, windowless room with only a straw bed for comfort. He had no knowledge of the outside world, having never seen the sun or the moon. His only companions were a few toys and a blanket, and he claimed that a shadowy figure would bring him food. As Kaspar adapted to life in Nuremberg, the townspeople grew increasingly fascinated by him. His childlike curiosity and limited vocabulary were both endearing and mysterious. Over time, he began to reveal more about his past, though his fragmented memories only deepened the enigma. Kaspar Hauser had become a living puzzle, one that would challenge and intrigue those around him. Imprisonment. Kaspar Hauser's account of his imprisonment is one of the most perplexing aspects of his story. He described being kept in a small, dark cell for as long as he could remember. The cell was barely large enough to lie down in, with only a straw bed and a small table. Bread and water were his sole diet, and he claimed the water sometimes tasted bitter, making him sleep more deeply. According to Kaspar, he was cared for by a mysterious figure who never showed his face. This figure would occasionally enter the cell to change Kaspar's straw bed and cut his hair and nails while he was asleep. The figure also taught him how to write his name and repeat the phrase, "I want to be a cavalryman, as my father was." These details painted a grim picture of a life lived in near total isolation. When Kaspar was finally released, his lack of basic knowledge about the world was evident. He was amazed by everyday objects like candles and mirrors, trying to grab his reflection as if it were another person. This behavior suggested he had indeed been deprived of normal human experiences. His story quickly gained the attention of the townspeople and the authorities in Nuremberg. The authorities initially suspected Kaspar might be a missing noble or a pawn in a political intrigue. His mannerisms and limited vocabulary made it difficult to ascertain the truth. As they investigated, the mystery deepened, with some believing Kaspar's tale, while others suspected deception. The boy's strange past and peculiar behavior kept everyone guessing. To help Kaspar integrate into society, he was placed under the care of Georg Dormer, a schoolmaster and speculative philosopher. Dormer began teaching him to read and write, discovering Kaspar's remarkable talent for drawing. Under Dormer's guidance, Kaspar started to adapt to his new life, yet the shadows of his past continued to loom large. The mystery of his origins remained unsolved, drawing even more attention and speculation. Life and trials. As Kaspar Hauser settled into his new life, he began to receive an education and socialize with others. Under the guidance of Georg Dormer, he made significant progress in reading, writing, and drawing. Despite his achievements, Kaspar's life was far from ordinary. His past and the mysterious circumstances of his appearance continued to attract attention and scrutiny. Kaspar's interactions with the townspeople of Nuremberg were marked by curiosity and suspicion. Some were fascinated by his childlike wonder and naivety, while others were skeptical of his story. Rumors began to circulate, suggesting that Kaspar might be of noble descent or an impostor seeking attention. These rumors only added to the intrigue surrounding his life. In October 1829, a shocking event added a new layer to Kaspar's story. He was found in the cellar of Dormer's house, bleeding from a wound to his forehead. Kaspar claimed he had been attacked by a hooded man who threatened his life. This incident fueled further speculation about his past and the possible danger he was in. Less than a year later, another mysterious event occurred. A pistol shot was heard from Kaspar's room, and he was found with a superficial wound to his head. He claimed it was an accident while reaching for a book, but many doubted his story. These incidents led some to believe Kaspar was fabricating attacks to gain sympathy. Due to the growing mistrust and the need for a safer environment, Kaspar was moved to live with Lord Stanhope, a British nobleman. Stanhope took a keen interest in Kaspar's story and sought to uncover the truth about his origins. Despite the nobleman's efforts and considerable resources, the mystery remained unresolved. Kaspar's life continued to be a series of strange events and unanswered questions. Theories and speculations. The mystery of Kaspar Hauser's origins sparked numerous theories and speculations. Some believed he was a lost prince, possibly from the House of Baden, hidden away to prevent him from claiming his rightful inheritance. Others thought he was a Hungarian noble due to his recollection of a few Hungarian words. These theories captured the public's imagination, but none could be definitively proven. The idea of Kaspar being of noble descent was bolstered by the significant efforts to discover his origins. Lord Stanhope, for instance, took Kaspar on trips to Hungary, hoping to jog his memory. Despite these efforts, Kaspar failed to recognize any landmarks or people. The mystery only deepened, with some suggesting that Kaspar's story was a fabrication for attention. Meanwhile, skeptics proposed that Kaspar was an impostor. They pointed to inconsistencies in his story and his tendency to lie about various incidents. Some believed he suffered from psychological issues that led him to create an elaborate backstory. The debate over his true identity and motives continued to rage, dividing public opinion. Scientific and psychological examinations were conducted to understand Kaspar better. Some researchers theorized that he might have been a feral child, while others suggested he had been part of a cruel experiment. These examinations provided fascinating insights but no concrete answers. Kaspar remained an enigma, a puzzle with pieces that refused to fit together neatly. Despite the myriad theories, the true story of Kaspar Hauser's past remained elusive. His life in Ansbach seemed to settle into a routine, but the shadow of his mysterious origins continued to follow him. As Kaspar grew older, the intrigue surrounding him only intensified. This growing tension would eventually lead to a tragic and mysterious end. Mysterious death. On the evening of December 14, 1833, Kaspar Hauser's life took a dark turn. He stumbled into his home in Ansbach, clutching a bleeding wound on his side. He claimed that he had been attacked by a stranger in the park who had lured him with the promise of information about his past. This event marked the beginning of the end for the enigmatic young man. According to Kaspar, the stranger handed him a small bag before stabbing him. Inside the bag was a note written in mirror script, cryptically alluding to the assailant's origins. Despite the apparent threat, there were no witnesses to the attack, and the evidence left much to be desired. This fueled suspicions that Kaspar might have inflicted the wound on himself. Kaspar's condition worsened rapidly. Despite medical efforts to save him, he succumbed to his injuries 3 days later, on December 17, 1833. His final words reportedly expressed a desire to uncover the truth about his identity. His death was as mysterious and controversial as his life had been, leaving many questions unanswered. Kaspar was buried in Ansbach, and his tombstone bore the inscription, "Here lies Kaspar Hauser, enigma of his time." His birth was unknown, his death mysterious. The epitaph succinctly captured the essence of his life. Even in death, Kaspar remained a figure of intrigue and speculation. To this day, Kaspar Hauser's story continues to fascinate and puzzle historians and the general public alike. His life and death have inspired countless books, studies, and even artistic works. While we may never know the full truth about his origins, Kaspar Hauser remains an enduring symbol of mystery and the search for identity. His legacy lives on, a testament to the power of an unresolved enigma. The legacy of Kaspar Hauser extends far beyond his brief life. His story has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and artistic endeavors. Each retelling adds new layers to the mystery, ensuring that Kaspar's tale remains in the public consciousness. This continued interest underscores the enduring appeal of his enigmatic life. Historians and researchers continue to investigate Kaspar's story, sifting through historical records and new evidence. Advances in technology, such as DNA testing, have offered new avenues for exploration. Yet, despite these efforts, definitive answers remain elusive. The mystery of Kaspar Hauser's origins and death persists, a tantalizing puzzle that defies resolution. In Ansbach and Nuremberg, Kaspar Hauser has become a part of local heritage. Memorials and museums dedicated to his story attract visitors from around the world. These sites serve as a reminder of the enduring power of his mystery and the human fascination with the unknown. Kaspar's story continues to captivate, inviting each new generation to ponder his fate. The story of Kaspar Hauser challenges us to consider the nature of identity and truth. Was he a lost noble, a victim of cruelty, or a clever impostor? His life raises questions about the lengths people will go to for recognition and the human need for connection and understanding. These themes resonate deeply, making his story timeless. As we conclude this exploration of Kaspar Hauser's life, we are left with more questions than answers. His story remains a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lie at the edges of history. Kaspar Hauser, the boy who appeared from nowhere, continues to live on in our collective imagination. His enigma endures, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you enjoyed the content and see you in our next video.